Ek hoor so. Can we? Thank you. Good afternoon, councillors, administration. We will continue now with our ordinary council meeting. Adoption of the point number one, we already prayed, and we continue to have our presentations. Now we continue. Adoption of the agenda of the meeting of the council OCM 09 June 2025. Can we please adopt the meeting? Is there any additional matters? I believe none. All right. Can I please have adoption? Councillor Joey proposed and Councillor Venus seconds the adoption of the agenda. Point number 3, application for leave of absence and declaration of interest by members of the council. 3.1, application for leave of absence. Councillor Amanda Groenewald is today absent. With apologies due to her health. She's on sick leave. Any other absence? None. Our CEO is also not here, but there is an acting CEO in place. 3.2, declaration of interest by members of the council. I believe none. Number 4, confirmation of the previous meeting of the council, confirmation of minutes of the previous meeting of the council. Councillors, can we just, I believe that we went already through the minutes. Is there any page that you want to discuss and perhaps have a query on? Can we continue, Councillor Mara?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't know how we are going to confirm the minutes. I know that I will raise it in number 9, under point 9, but still we need to confirm the minutes. I wish to find out for the second time the questions that I'm raising, which is not my questions, Honourable Councillors. It's questions from the community. They are not in, for the second time, they are not in the minutes.
Okay. Councillor Mara, at the last meeting, we were I specifically asked the CEO to make sure that that minutes will be in this confirmation of minutes. Therefore, if it's not here, therefore, we will not confirm the minutes until we get further directions from the CEO. Is that okay? Because it was a direction, it was something that you mentioned. Even that day directed it to him for the minutes to have a true reflection. Therefore, he promised, he said he will do it, but if it's not in here, unfortunately, then we cannot confirm the minutes because then it's not a true reflection. What is the way that you want? What is your query regarding the confirmation of minutes?
Your Worship, since I will have chance at answers to questions of members of which notice was given, since I given notice both times. So I will have an opportunity again at point 9 to raise the questions of last time and the previous times. That's not the point. The point here is, when are the community going to be answered on the questions? Because at number 9, we need to give feedback based on the answers that was given notice of. Now, we are already in June, and all of these things happened like three months back, then 2 months back, and now we are in June. I hope you get my point.
Councillor
And these
Mara, I
crucial
do.
questions, when are we going to get the answers on them? Or
So,
do we still remember the questions since they are not minuted?
Councillor Mara, I do understand. Just listen quickly what I'm asking. If I must continue confirming this minutes, even though you are going to point 9, then that point 9 will be seen as new. Already, it's already there, but you want it to reflect in the minutes so that it can be answered, so that the answers can be there, because that is your point. Your point is you want the questions answered. Yes. Okay. Okay. So can we say like this? Okay. Can I ask this? Can we confirm this minutes? Come to point 9, you raise your two questions, and with the fact that it must be answered. And I know it's 9 questions. Is it okay, Councillor Jackie?
His Worship, some of the questions that was asked by Honorable, because is recurring questions in terms of the
Report.
reports.
Yeah.
So if we can maybe differentiate and say that some of those issues be dealt with in the report, some of the original questions, if they are, be dealt with in the report, and then those that cannot be accommodated in the report can maybe be re-asked at point 9 and then be answered in the next OCM. So if there are 9 questions that was posted for 2 months, then I think those that has relevance to the reports, the monthly reports, can be answered by the administration now, and those that doesn't have any relevance on the monthly report can either be answered in. I think Councillor Mara can then ask those questions again at point 9, and then it can be addressed here.
Thank you, Councillor Jackie. That is, you and I are on the same page, because that is what I noticed. That's why my question is, can we continue with the confirmation of minutes and point 9, at point 9, the questions that Councillor Mara raised? Some of them are already in the report, so that answers is already in the reports like last time. But the questions that is not in the report that you have, when we come to point 9, can you just differentiate then that question so that questions can be answered in this council meeting? Because I can't say it's unfair for the public for those questions that needs answering to be scheduled for next month to be answered while it was already supposed to be answered last month. So can we continue with that then, like that basis, Councillor Mara? Is that fine? Jafet, sorry, there's a connection problem. Sometimes if we speak, it's loud and then it just goes away. Is it okay that side by you? Okay, no problem. Okay, then we can we please confirm then the minutes? Councillor Jackie proposed and seconded by Councillor Lalani. Then we move on to number 5. That's what I wanted to. That's what I asked Councillor Mara. I asked, even though it's not a true reflection, must we pause the confirmation of minutes? Then you said no, you will handle it at point 9. Then I said then it means I must confirm the minutes, because I didn't want to confirm the minutes for it to be a true reflection. So I don't get, what is actually the basis?
The basis, Honourable Mayor, is the minutes which
Yes.
the Secretariat minuted.
Yes.
Is not the true reflection of what happened in our meeting. Community questions that was posted via myself as their councillor,
Yes.
they are not answered previously. How on earth is it possible that we are going to confirm by a proposement and a secondment the minutes?
But that is what I asked from the beginning. So I can't confirm the minutes. Then you said no, I will raise my minutes at point 9.
Because I have an opportunity.
Then you should
to
have agreed
it.
from the beginning when I said we are not confirming the minutes so that the minutes can stand over for the true reflection, Councillor J.
Honorable Mayor, those questions were not answered in the last minute.
And
So then if there is no answers given in the last meeting, then it means there is nothing to report in this report. It's just that you have to now say the questions were asked, but there was no answers given. So
You're
yeah,
correct.
that's what we are saying to address that. Even if we don't confirm the minutes now,
Yes.
the question still remains not answered.
Not answered.
And then the next meeting, we will again sit with this. So we are saying, let us re-ask the questions
Yes.
in this meeting and make sure that it is addressed now in this meeting, by the
Yes.
technocrats that is here.
Okay.
Let them answer now in this meeting. The meeting questions at point 9 is being asked, and the technocrats answer the questions now. Those that are not catered for in the monthly reports, and those that are catered for in the monthly reports, when we go to the point of monthly reports, the technocrats and if the councillors have the know-how of those questions must be answered. So that can solve the problem, because if we leave it again like this, it will surely stand over because we didn't discuss it here. We are not discussing it here now, so it will not, in the next minutes, we cannot confirm it, because all you need to confirm is, from previous meeting, all you need to confirm is to say, it was not answered last meeting. So we are saying it was not answered. That is the minutes that
That's
needs
the
to be
thing, Councillor
confirmed.
Jackie. That's why I ask if we must not confirm the minutes because it's not a true reflection. Because on the request that I asked the CEO, meaning then we cannot answer the questions even now because now we have to wait for the correction to be made because it's not a true reflection. Or we confirm the minutes. We go to point 9. She addressed the questions there. The questions is on the report will be answered, and the other questions is not on the report. We will direct it to the administration to answer. That's exactly what we elaborated on. So that is why I said now we can confirm this minutes because we will come to point 9 where Councillor Mara will raise the points with the answers. Councillor Mara?
Could I maybe ask one more question? MC, the chair. Where's the report?
The monthly report. The monthly report, we can still get it because there was the only thing when comes in is when there's changes of the monthly report. It normally is just recurring, but if there's nothing yet to recur, then it's not here. It's only when there's recurring pending cases. If they get any feedback on certain issues, then it comes to the council showing that this was the processes that was followed, this was the cases that was done. So I don't understand. Must it be in the current OCA meeting?
I suppose
report.
it's a monthly report. It should be 10 times in our meetings per year.
Okay, then I can just ask Dora to ask Salome just to bring us the monthly report, make some copies in that at point 9 so that we can discuss it there. Please
No
just
need to do so because I need to have it 72 hours.
okay. It's fine, Dora. Councillor Mara said it's not needed because she wanted to receive it within 72 hours. Councillor Mara, I don't have all the answers for you, but what you're requesting, you're becoming difficult, and that's what you don't understand. You're becoming difficult because Councillor Jackie also gave the solution. We also told you that is a process that you can follow. Now I'm trying to get the report for you. Now you don't want the report because it's not given 72 hours.
But am I wrong if I do these things? Just say yes or no. Am I wrong?
Yes.
How?
On the basis that you can just request the report. The report is not 72 hours
Accept a
needed.
report now, Honorable Mayor.
What's
I
wrong with the
cannot
report? You
accept a
received the report
now.
normally. That's not like the report is a submission. The report is a discussion point and you see certain aspects. But the report is not it's not a submission whereby we
I was just asking for the report.
No,
since
Councillor
both
Mara,
of you were
because
saying
we are
it's in
trying
the
to bring
report.
even
It's in the report.
Councillor Jackie and I even tried to bring the solution for your 9 points to be addressed, and you are still difficult. Why?
Not difficult. I'm demanding that my questions that I'm raising.
But now you know
Secretariat
the
should be
report is not in.
minuted.
Now the report is not
What
in the
is
agenda.
the problem that you are not minuting my questions, which are not mine? They're just coming through my mouth. They are from this community. Are you disrespecting me or are you disrespecting the community?
Councillor Mara, the only thing is the report is not in. Just ask for the report to be provided. But now you want to ask, are you being disrespected or what cases are you being treated? I'm not going into that. I'm asking, you want your 9 points to be answered regarding on the community part. And that we are all in agreement for you to get the answers that you are being directed, given by the community. That's it. But now you're coming, now we want to provide you the answers. Now you're saying, but you don't want to report because you didn't receive it 72 hours. Then a worst case scenario for a solution is not to now to argue regarding 72 hours. It is not into the agenda. Therefore, there's
think
already something
you,
that is
Mr.
wrong.
Chair, you
But
need to talk to your
then,
secretariat, please.
they are not my
They
secretary.
are at fault here.
They are the CEO. We are only talking via the CEO, and the CEO will take it up with them. It's not us to talk. It's not me to talk with them.
Chairing this meeting.
I'm chairing the
Get
meeting.
order in this meeting.
But there's my acting CEO. He is the principal officer for the administration part.
Acting CEO, can you tell me what's going on here? Because I am so puzzled now. It seems like I'm wrong. So tell me I am wrong.
Councillor, I understand both points. That you require your report together with the agenda. So if you do want it 72 hours, then it's your right to have it within 72 hours so that you can peruse it. I also understand what the mayor is saying, that it can be provided to you right now.
Interested in it because
Then-
they did not do their part.
Then I understand, and it will be addressed with the secretariat.
Okay, thank you. So then, without a report for now, it will be submitted 72 hours next month. Please just make sure. Next month, it will be submitted 72 hours. Then we continue then with Councillor J.
Honorable Chairman, how are we going to address the issue? Because that is what we don't have a solution to the problem. If we leave it, it will stand over again for the next meeting. Now, if you address the issue so that these community members can have their answers, it should be addressed and can be addressed in this meeting. In terms of the monthly report, what we can do is, it's most recurring. The only matter that changed in the monthly report this month, we already handled in the on-camera meeting. So all the other issues that are in the monthly reports of the CEO is recurring, and some of them is also due to for answers now, such as the Hobart Lake one-off issues. They are due to be answered, and the progress are supposed to be given in this meeting. So I think even if we get the report now, it's only the matter that is new in the reports we handled already. So we can look at the others and then answer the questions. Then for once and for all, those questions are answered for the public's consumption and also for the public's information.
Councillor Jackie, that was my view. That's why I asked to request for the reports to be printed and be allocated to us. But then Councillor Mara said she doesn't want it because it was not done 72 hours on her questions that she must base. So unfortunately, if I cannot give her the report and she doesn't want to receive the report, but she wants her points, her 9 points to be addressed, I don't know how to address 9 points if she does not want to take the report, and on those basis it must be answered on. And I can ask for the rest of the councillors to receive the reports, but unfortunately she doesn't want her report.
Chairperson, I have to report on certain things that are recurring on.
Okay,
and
so
that-
okay.
So I need that to be given to us. It's the usual capital projects that the CEO always give us with the. So it's not a big thing. You just give us those things so that we can report on, even on the investments opportunities that we went to. We need to report to the public because we are using public money when
Yes.
we go out and get these meetings.
Thank you,
So we
Councillor
need to
Cheke.
report. So I'd really, while one of the support staff is busy with the meeting, the other one can get maybe that part for us.
Okay. Mr. Tron, just let them bring the report. Okay, so now we continue then to the next point. Official announcement, statements, and communications. Point number 5. Um, at point number 5, official announcements, statements, and communications. I would just like to applaud the RTC staff that went to the Nalazara Games. It was quite a challenge. Competition was very tight, and we got RTC got the silver for the 100 meters women and men, the hurdle, the relay, also male and female, the golden medal with a trophy. In the pool, Riebeeck Town Council received the silverware, second in the pool competition in the pool final. And then in the football and the netball and the volleyball, it was very, the competition was very tough. They were up against City of Windhoek, Walvis Bay, Henties Bay, and the competition was very, very tight. The girls did their best in netball and they really performed. You can see Councillor Jackie, we saw that they really gave them their all. But sometimes your all also comes to there's a better team. But I believe with much practice and giving more attention that our girls will do much better next time. On the volleyball, it's a mixed between men and ladies. They also did very well against Swakop. They were competitive, and unfortunately, the last minutes, Swakop won with a few, just like 3 or 4 points difference. So the competition was very, very tight. Football the same. Our gentlemen were very a bit upset regarding the field area, but nevertheless, they did really they did their best. They won one game, drew one game, but unfortunately, at the end of the time, at the end of the day, the points were not enough to go through to the next round. But in all sports codes in the Awela and the ringboard, the ladies also did very good. I believe, if I'm correct, they went even to the quarterfinals, if I'm correct, on the ringboard side. So it was quite a very interesting week, and thank you, honorable councillors. They said thank you for allowing them to partake. It was also an eye opener. We want to submit our documents that Nalazaram will be, perhaps we pray that it will be held in Riebeeck, so that we can also benefit on this economical boost for local authorities supporting one another, so that we as Riebeeck can also host this vast local authorities of Namibia. And then that is our hopes and prayer. We will submit for us to be the host of next year's Nalazara Games. That is an official announcements from my part. Any other official announcements? And then the second one is that the CEO of Councillor, Deputy Mayor, and myself, and a few administrations, we will be traveling to South Africa for the green hydrogen. And for the weekend, we will be back on Saturday. We will come and do the constructive report once we are back, and give the feedback to the council by then. Thank you, council, for approving for us. And then Councillor Jackie and Councillor Jackie, I believe your engagement was what for the announcement, or is it not this week? Your engagement for going to Windhoek to the international college. Okay. So that is all announcements from my side. Then Councillor Jackie can do his announcements. Mr. Choi, is there any announcements from your part? Nothing. Okay. I give over to Councillor Jackie.
Thank you, His Worship. The Nalasara was really a good wellness week for the staff as well as the councillors. We engaged and we were the defending champions. Riebeeck was the overall winner in the Kowabas Games in 2024, and then we gave over to Windhoek with these games. that just concluded in Katima, and we are very eager to host, like the mayor have already alluded to. It is a great investment opportunity, but the problem that we are facing as Rehoboth is accommodation. So there's a lot that if we win the bet of hosting for next year, then we are also urging the community to invest in accommodation facilities right now up till next year May, so that we will be able to host those games. Also in terms of investment, the total investment that we receive, it's enormous money that is invested from all 56 local authorities in Namibia are mandated and are going to attend these games, and the investment that we will get when hosting this is much more than we could imagine. So we are urging that business community can come on board so that we can improve on our accommodation sites and places and investment in accommodation and host these games for next year. Also, as we went out to engage with different communities or tertiary institutions, you know the plight of the Rehoboth students. Once they go to Windhoek for studies, it becomes quite difficult, and financial implications are always not that favorable for the students, and it discourages them from continuing to with their studies. Therefore, we embarked on with the LED office as well as that of the PRO and the mayor's office, the PA to the mayor. We went to all the universities in Namibia, and we negotiated with them in terms of we will be able to avail land and space so that they can come and invest and build in Rehoboth, so that our students don't have to go to Windhoek and for studies, and then the parents can save on money on accommodation and all those costs, taxi cost and commuting. So we were lucky to have our newest family, and I called them family because they were really receptive of our proposal, and we are on par with the International College or Lingua, and they will hopefully start in the next academic year in Rehoboth, and our students will now be accommodated here. Lingua is a college that is recognized with all the statutory bodies in our country's education system, and they are starting from certificates up till PhD, and different various qualifications are offered in terms of the different fields of study. So we are bringing Lingua, and we are very thankful for the interest that they've shown in Rehoboth. So that is one of the good news, that by next year, academic year, hopefully we will start with Lingua. So that is on the investment part that I can report, Honorable Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councillor Jackie, for that. Then we move on then to point number 6, interviews with deputations or summons or requested to attend the meeting of a council. We had our 2 presentations. It was very fruitful. Then we move on over. I believe that point 6.1 and 6.2, administration will handle it from there onwards, like we have said in the presentations. We await from the presenters their submissions, and also the communication from administration management meeting. Point number 7, petitions none. Number 8, motions of members. 8.1, reallocating of small and private entrepreneurship who are operating daily private business amongst residents properties to a special earmarked light industrial area. I believe that is the Deputy Mayor's. I will immediately give over to him.
Thank you, Mayor. Notice of motion in terms of Rule 13(1) of the Standing Rules of Council. Government Gazette, the 2nd of April 2015, number 5705. The date of motion, 13th of May 2025. I, Convenus Adrian Claassen, a member of this council, gives notice in advance with Rule 13(1) of the Standing Rules for Local Authority Councils, Government Gazette number 5705, of 2nd of April 2015 in connection with the following matter. Relocating of small and private entrepreneurs who operating their daily private business amongst residential properties to a special earmarked light industrial area. Recommend to Council that, taking into consideration of many small and private entrepreneurs who operates amongst the residential properties in town, creates unhygienic, unsafe, and a nuisance to the neighbors and the community of Rehoboth Town. These entrepreneurs are motor mechanics, welders, panel beaters, spray painting, and even brake making, etc. Brick making. I recommend against this background to submit to the Council to instruct our Town Planning Division to do a proper detailed investigation and analysis if it is practical viable to implement this task at the earliest convenience. I further submit that the Town Planning Division also do a proper and accuracy analysis to look into the possibility if the Rehoboth Town Council to earmark a 10 to 20 hectares piece of land for light industrial to accommodate these small entrepreneurs. Each entrepreneur can have his or her own piece of land with basic services to operate from. That each and every entrepreneur can have his or her own piece of land of approximately 1,000 square meters to operate from at a minimum affordable monthly cost and to own the property after a certain period. Once the detailed analysis are available and the motion can be implemented, a proper structural plan to be written and tabled by the town planners for approval and acceptance by the council. Conclusion: it is my submission that this content be served with the utmost urgency. It so clearly speaks about this esteemed Rehoboth Town Council in the best interest and to minimize health risks of the residents of Rehoboth Town as well as the Rehoboth Town Council. I so submit. Councillor C.A. Claassen, Member of Council. I thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I accept and hereby give then open for discussions. Discussions on the motion of Deputy Mayor. Councillor MC.
If my memory serves me right, at the back of the graveyard, it's where the light industrial area is. There was Enoch stalls. Was that stalls not renovated? Mr. Tron, do you remember? That stalls. The pollution. So how many stalls are there? Maybe we can put
6. Those stalls are already capacitated by members, the community people, the small SMEs. There's a demand for more. That's why the submission. There's a demand for more.
But 10 to 20 hectares is a bit too much for me. I don't know. And where will we have this light industrial park?
May I, Mayor, MC, I hear what you say, but to be honest with you, have you seen how does our residential areas look like? With small businessmen, even brick making. I mean, no. It's completely unhygienic, as I said, and we had to do something. We had enough land. Townlands are big enough. It doesn't have to be 10, 20 kilometers out of town, but we have enough land around the town, that's why I said we can send out the town planners, let them have a look, and then we can, because the current structures in the current 20, I think it's not even 15 units. It's completely overcrowded, and I don't think it's enough for our people. That's why, because they can't get accommodation for them. That's why they do it in the backyards. They call them backyard mechanics, which is really not a good thing for our town. So we have to look at that. And 20 hectares is not big. we had to provide for the next 20 years at least, because our town is growing every day. I thank you.
Thank you, dear Councillor Jackie.
His Worship, I do concur with the motion in terms of getting the site out of the town center and residential areas. And I think some of the other towns are planning in advance, and then they are fencing off certain areas and then they keep it that way. So even if it is now for 10 hectare, we can also already again leave room for growth
Future
and more
growth.
development. So I do support the submission that we also in itself, when we move those people to that light industrial area as proposed, we will have various divisions so that we cannot have, for instance, I don't know, brick makers next to something else that is. So we will have to section it off also. So I do support the submission because it is an advancement of town planning and also proper infrastructure that we need to put in place. Because if you say you cannot have your spray painting in the back of the yard, the person that is doing that and earning bread and butter from that will ask the council, then where? So this is just making provision for, you cannot do that, but we have made provision for you on here. So I do support.
Thank you, Councillor Jackie. Can we then have a proposed secondment? The motion proposed by Councillor Jackie, accepted by Councillor Lalani. Thank you. I approved. Therefore, we move then to motion of members 8.2, proposal for development of a community amphitheater at the former Caravan Park site opposite Rio Spa.
Thank you, Worship the Mayor. The notice of the motion in terms of Rule 13.1 of Standing Rules of Council, Government Gazette of 2nd April 2015, number 5705. Date of the motion 20 May 2025. I read this motion on behalf of Amanda Lumila Groenewald, that the chairperson of the management committee and the member of the council give notice in accordance with the Rule 13 of Standing Rules of Local Council, Government Gazette number 5705 of 2nd April 2015 in connected with following matters. Explanation of the motion. The Rebo Town Council remains committed to the holistic development of urban recreation space for benefit of its residents. Therefore, I propose the vacant caravan park opposite Rio Spa present a strategic opportunity for development of multi-purpose community amphitheater. Such facility will directly support community wellness, social cohesion, youth engagement, local talent development, and economic activity through tourism and events. Therefore, I recommend that Council approve in principle the redevelopment of Caravan Park opposite Rio Spa into multi-functional community amphitheater and recreation hub designed to serve the residents of Rehoboth and Greater Hardap region. Mandates the Planning and Infrastructure Department of Design a concept layout for amphitheater to include just central concrete seating area with integrated space for umbrellas and shade structures, surrounding raised field on both sides for informal gatherings and overflow audience, natural shading through chemathorn trees planted strategically around the venue. Support the inclusion of additional future to promote sport, art, culture, community engagement, including many hawkers field, outdoor cheese field, put golf area, arts, exhibition space, book readings, and storytelling areas, performance space, marketing stalls for community connect market days, design space of musical festival, cultural nights, and community church service. Approvals to install of precast boundaries fence with sponsors to be sourced from public and private institutions and retain branding and logo space on the sponsor segments for fixed stamps advertising windows based on scale and local of the contributions. Direct administration to explore funding opportunities and partnership models for projects including local business, national art and cultural funds, regional tourism board, international development partners. The motion represents bold step towards Revelations community life in Rehoboth by transforming an unutilized public space into dynamic, exclusive, and family-friendly venue of recreation, art, sports, worship, and celebrations. It aligns with the broader vision of RTC to create sustainable people-centered developments that uplift all residents. Therefore, I request Chief Executive Officer to acknowledge receipt of the motion in writing. So I submit Councillor Amanda Lumula Groenewald. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lalani. I open the floor for discussions. Councillor Jackie.
His Worship, I think the motion is dynamic in terms of how we can integrate areas and spaces in Rehoboth, whereby we are currently busy with the market concept in Block E. This area is already in our ownership, the particular area that is being emphasized here, and it will create more spaces for people in their own localities, very close, bringing entertainment and add to information also to the doorstep. So I do support the idea of the various sports codes and entertainment areas that would be hosted by this proposed amphitheater. Also, while we were talking about, we were talking about how to host the Nalasra Games. So this building, this proposal in itself will also engage and complement those efforts that we will host the Nalasra Games. So therefore, I do support this proposal in its form, and also hope that it will be budgeted and at least part one will be constructed in this or next financial year. It is a very good thing for Rehoboth, and because Rehoboth doesn't have entertainment and also social settings and areas whereby community can come together and positively be entertained. Also, there can be also, in additionally, maybe if you look at the concept, what the proposal is seeking is to get a concept from how it will be built and building plans. So it can also incorporate some of the stalls whereby maybe sales of food can be accommodated, so that people will be entertained at the same time, but also be able to get a bite from something. So it's a very, very, very good proposal, and therefore I pledge my support for this one also.
Thank you, Councillor Jackie. Councillor NC.
Just a short one. I do agree with Councillor Jackie. Every December, Swakopmund have this something market, but it's also at the amphitheater. So this will also be good if we have December our street market, not street market, but that market. If we have this amphitheater.
Thank you, DM.
Thank you, Mayor. I think it's a brilliant idea, but what I would like to suggest is they must not completely do away with the Caravan Park site. They must still keep that the two can complement each other. Thank you.
Thank you, DM. Councillor Jackie?
His Worship, and the other thing that I also like about this is that the proposal is saying the natural setting will be complemented with what will be built around. So you all know that there is a big concentration of the acacia trees. So if we can also protect them while development is taking place, we also control the environment and keep it as at the minimum that it will be disturbed. That is also the good part of the proposal.
Thank you, Councillor Jackie. So can I get a proposal and secondment for the submission, for this motion, sorry? Proposed by Councillor Jackie and seconded by MC Chair. Then we move over to 8.3. Motion to support collaboration between the Rehoboth Town Council and the Rehoboth Lions Club perhaps towards the restoration and development of the Rio Spa. Spelling errors here. Continue, Councillor.
Notice of motion in terms of
Sorry. Councillors, before on this motion, unfortunately, we cannot accept this motion. Must it be read? Yeah, it can be. Okay, just read it then. Then we will continue by giving. It's not from our side. Just continue. Sorry, Councillor Lani. Just continue, finish, and then I will give it through.
notice of the motion in terms of Rule 13.1 of Standing Rules of Council, Government Gazette of 2nd April 2015, number 5705, date of the motion 20 May 2025. I, Amanda Lumina Groenewald, Deputy Chairperson of the Management Committee and member of the Council, give notice in accordance with the Rule 13.1 of Standing Rules for Local Council, Government Gazette number 5705 of 2 April in connection with following matters. Explanation of the motion. The Rehoboth Town Council and the Rehoboth Lions Club are engaged in ongoing collaborations aimed at uplifting the social and economic status of residents of Rehoboth. Thus, cooperative efforts are focused on increasing financial and tourism-related activities in town of Rehoboth with the Rio Spa development identified as cornerstones projects. The following activities have already commenced towards revitalization of Rio Spa as tourism attraction. The town-wide cleaning activities initiate an ongoing Phase 1 of Rio Spa project, restoration of outdoor swimming pool and surrounding areas. Phase 2, restoration at 23 bungalows, funding secure. Phase 3, proposed restoration of indoor hot spa requiring structural, visual and plumbing rehabilitations. I recommended that Council approve and mandate the Rehoboth Lions Club to pursue international partnership through a proposed twinning initiative with Lions Club about potentially based on Germany in order secure funding of restoration of indoor hot spa, promote the Rio Spa as international wellness and tourism destinations, and leverage of upcoming Lions Club International Conventions, Orlando, USA, 9 to 22nd July 2025, to establish such partnership. Instruct the relevant RTC departments to conduct and submit a comprehensive financial assessment and cost estimate for full restoration for indoor hot spa, including structural repairs, plumbing and water system, aesthetic and internal improvement. Point number 3, direct the planning of development divisions or appoint technical consult to produce a 3D visual presentation of proposed final look of the indoor spa facility, which will serve as promotional tool in securing external funding and partnership interests. Point number 4, propose the development of sustainable management structure for the indoor spa post-restorations, including ongoing maintenance procedures to ensure the facility is maintained to the highest standard, and consideration of Board of Trustees with representation from both RTC and Rainbow Lions Club to oversee operations and safeguard public investment. Therefore, I request Chief Executive Officer to acknowledge receipt of motion in writing. I so submit Councillor Amanda Lumila Groenewald. I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lalani. Councillors, I got the information from our legal officer that went through when the motion was submitted for when they normally scrutinize certain information. And unfortunately, the State Finance Act, Section 18, does not support it because such a submission must be submitted to the line ministry and to Ministry of Finance when it comes to a MOU between the council and an NGO or outside investment. That must be submitted and approved by them, unfortunately not by us. Procurement is also they are going to the state when it comes to that. So that is not this motion is not something that we can actually even discuss because it's not at our level. It's a discussion between finance and perhaps then Lions Club and the ministry at that level. So I'm just giving it open. That's why I said I cannot accept this motion. Regarding the motion, please note that any investment donation must be approved by the line ministry as well as the Ministry of Finance. Furthermore, any inclusion of surveillance on management or state property must be done by virtue of Procurement Act through consultancy. Any works done on the Riospa must be done by the council only because we received the transfer donations of the SPA and subsequent funding by virtue of a submission that we as council want to restore and renovate. So that we must adhere to the State Finance Act Section 18 in this regard. So basically that states that how adherence of MOUs must be handled when it comes to those. Councillor Joey?
Thank you, Your Worship. You said investments, if I'm not mistaken. So this investors that was here this morning, it's on council property, which means it's on government property.
No, Councillor Joey.
Yes.
No, Councillor Joey. It's on land.
No, it's on land.
Land. You're confused between council property. Council property, the buildings does not belong to council. The land, that is council property. That is in the line ministry that we have powers over.
Yes, I do understand.
Buildings is under Ministry of Treasury, under Ministry of Finance, it's under Treasury.
But
Therefore, that approval for that is not coming to us, it must go to them.
what
If
I
any company wants to come and have an agreement, MOU with council, other than a local authority, a private sector wants to have a joint venture, a memorandum of understanding, they will come council building. That's something else, council. It's not a land patent or investment on other side, but we are talking about our buildings.
if you read
Jackie?
I was still on the floor.
Okay.
if you read correctly, they don't want the spa as such. They just want permission to obtain funds. That is where what is all about. It's only to obtain funds. To assist the community.
You are saying when you're saying they want to obtain funds, to assist.
With the
Who will stand the collateral for? Because if you need funds, you have to have collateral. Can you remember Green Enterprises?
No, listen, Lions Club is different from Green Enterprises. Green Enterprises have to source money. Lions Club, they have an international body to which all Lions Clubs contribute to.
Yes.
So yeah, that's why they are asking. Since there are money, but let me just stop here. It was not accepted, but going forward, I will come back with this again. Thank you.
Councillor Joey, before I give over to Councillor Jackie, it's not something, it's not say casting stone. It was just say for now, we have to do the adherence. So even if you say how, what must I do? Must I accept something that I was advised not to accept by legal? So the AG's office, the treasury, the person that is assisting us said no to it, stop first with that. Do you want me to override them if we are being advised by them?
So this morning,
No, that is something else. It's not to do with money. Councillor Jackie?
what goes around comes around.
Your Worship, I would like to come in, like Councillor Amanda would have said. The problem is, we as government institutions have what we call the Finance Act, and then under which also the treasury instructions fall. And even at school, when you receive donations, there are certain conditions under which you will receive donations, and because sometimes people will donate some things, and then after there will be conditions attached. So therefore, as I'm just taking the example out of my own setting where I'm working. So at school, when people have to donate, we have to declare that also. We have to declare the purpose of the donation. We have to declare if there are any conditions. We have to declare what is the value of the donation itself. Then we have to send through our inspector of education to the director for approval. So if such a and remember, we have cases. These are assets of not only Rehoboth, these are assets of the nation. And we are dealing with one case whereby the Attorney General has advised us on what to do. And when it comes to the assets of the country, so but say the 7 councillors here are just custodians. We are not the owners. We are managing these resources and on behalf of the people of Namibia, not Rehoboth in particular. And I know the treasury instructions when it comes to donations and CCs, but for this particular project, it should be quite understood that the government already provided funds for the first phase with conditions attached. The condition was to complete the first phase, and then on that condition, when we complete the first phase, we were able to submit another application. We are done with the first phase. Can you now give us some funds to, and then we were fortunate, we were given again 4.3 million to invest into the Leo Spa. So alternatively, we would have looked at other sources of funds if we did not get government buy-in into the project. So alternatively, if we did not get the buy-in of government, we could have used this opportunity also. But now the government has committed itself by providing funds for phase 1 and providing check the progress of phase 1, and then it provided funds for phase 2. So the funds are there, and we are committed to the government. We are linked to the government. So for now, I do understand the treasury instructions. And I think if the Rio Spa is done with the funding, that we receive from the government and we are unable to manage it, or we are unable to expand it, then we can use this opportunity. But for now, we are committed to a course that the government provided funds, and then we must work with those funds, and we already received the funds. So for that matter, I do understand and I do support your stance, Honorable Mayor, on this issue.
Thank you, Councillor Jackie. Deputy Mayor.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm just worried that we must just be very careful for privatization, because it might end up in the hands what it used to be with NWR. We got the Rio Spa back from the government, from Treasury, and there were certain conditions. They've already given us some money, which was quite a huge, not a lump, not a huge. We could do with that money. We could do something that they can see we are eager to finalize it. And if you look at the Ludritz waterfront and the Swakopmund shopping complex, those places were financed by Treasury, and it's not 10 million; it's 100 millions that was plowed into those two shopping complexes. So we can also, once we are done with our second phase that we are busy with, we can go back to the government, to Treasury, and said, look, this is fourth phase, phase 5, phase 6, 7 for the next 5 years, and this is how we can get our money to complete our project with Rio Spa. Thank you very much.
MC Chair.
Thank you, Your Worship. DM, I must correct you there. Lions Club never intended to take over, or never intended to take over Rio Spa. So that one is out. You don't say it will fall in what hands, like NWR. You can read clearly here. They never intend to take over the Rio Spa. They just want to assist with Rio Spa. Okay, that's fine. No. They will never take it over, my dear. Read. They will not take it over. Lions Club doesn't have to take over Rio Spa. Not in a million years. No.
The thing is, the thing of the motion is, I'm not saying we are denying it because we don't see the positivity of the Lions Club, Councillor Joey. I was in fact also at the meeting of the Lions Club, and the Lions Club is not negative. Don't see it as negative. We are not saying the Lions Club is having any issue. We are not even saying the Lions Club we are not willing to assist with one another as the Lions Club and as council. No, yes. But the thing, Councillor Joey, is then you are conflicted of interest because you are part of them. So why didn't you declare your interest? Why do you propose and talk on a motion if you are part of the Lions Club? And therefore that's not lovable. That is very disappointing because you are part of the membership, but you didn't declare your interest because you have interest in this discussion.
I have no interest in.
No, why? You said you are the member of the Lions Club.
But what I'm saying.
Then you're not allowed to talk, Councillor Joey. Then you're not allowed to give anything. Yes. Because you are a member of the Lions Club. And as a member, you can't. Councillor Jackie?
My last comment on this. We do welcome any investment into the Rio Spa, and that is it's an iconic place for not only for Rio, but for the country. It's what Rio was known for, in fact. But what we need to guard against is that we are already in an agreement engagement with the government for funding. So while we are not finished with this funding, we cannot engage in another activity. This is a very big town, and people must understand that Rehoboth is one of the biggest towns in the south. There is no town in population from Windhoek downwards that is bigger in population than Rehoboth. And people must understand that Rehoboth is no small place. In dual development projects must take place. We must plan. If you look at Swakopmund, you will see at every suburb there is a park. At every suburb, there is a planning going on, there is whatever going on. Therefore, we as council is supposed to go for development in all localities of our town. So the dual processes of development is the way forward. And we are busy here with an informal market in Block here. We are busy with the amphitheater that was just now proposed just opposite the council. The Rio Spa. And we are busy with Rio Spa. So development projects are continuously taking place. Funding is coming from different sources. And we need to develop the town simultaneously for the local. What we need to do is to decongest one centers of entertainment or where all of us come together in the central part of the town for a certain activity. We need, as a council, to bring services to the people where the people are. Not only services, but entertainment, information, everything. And that's what we are trying to do as these 7 councillors. We are bringing a market, integrated informal market in Block E. Block C, we are having now the amphitheater that was now proposed by Councillor Amanda. And Rio Spa, the government has up to the tune of 6.7 million invested, money that we received in our coffers and that we are using. And we are not downplaying the interest and the contribution of the community of Rio, solely because they know the value of Rio Spa. So the contributions that the Rio community make towards the project called Rio Spa has never been underestimated, and it should be clearly understood. Some of the things that I'm answering, Honorable Mayor, might not make relevance to you now, but we are on live stream and we are looking at what engaging with the community, and some of these things that I'm saying is in answer to what they are saying. So Rebov will have dual development projects. Rebov will not just speak. These 7 councillors will not just speak. These seven councillors has proven that activities are happening in the scope of their duty when they came into this council. Things are happening. And we are not scared to get our hands steady. And we are not scared as a council of Rebov to also say thank you for the contributions by virtue of money, investment, or hands that the community of Rebov put in place or put into action at the Rio Spa and in many other areas. That's why we are here to serve and represent you. But to the essence of the case, unfortunately, I will have to, or fortunately, have to agree with the Honorable Mayor. We are already engaged. We do appreciate the scope of the Lions Club and the intention of the Lions Club in trying to help us to develop and bring the Rio Spa and up to a standard where it was or before or where it is going. But for now, the government is funding the project together with the community that is contributing. And that engagement now, that agreement between the Rio Town Council and the government limits us to finish the project with the funding that they provided. So therefore, I submit and support and propose that we and the moment that the mayor said I don't accept the motion, then it's done. Thank you for allowing us to have a discussion on that.
It's a pleasure, Councillor Jackie.
You read the essay.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, councillors. So by saying that, we will venture further into discussions and so forth. I believe they will still will still continue doing the good work in Rebov, like Councillor Jackie said. I conclude with him, and we will go on to the next point. Councillor Joey, if you're perhaps unhappy, it's your right to write something and to put it and submit it so that I can send it for you to get a follow-up and just discuss it there. So I understand your point, why you're a bit upset. I'm also, it's not the fact that we don't want to, it's just the fact that sometimes you can't. It's not something that you don't want to accept, it's something that you also have to follow your government. And we are under our Local Authority Act in our government constitution here. Therefore, I have to follow the instructions on that basis. Number 9, answers to questions of members which notice was given. No, motion was not accepted. Answers to questions of members of which notice was given, none. Councillor Mara.
Your Worship, should I repeat the questions now at this stage? Or should I wait for the answers on the questions that are not minuted? How do you?
Councillor Mara, to be honest with you, I would say you can ask the questions. I do not know if the acting CEO, because the questions was raised to the CEO, I do not know if this acting CEO is having the questions, the answers to your questions. Therefore, I can allow you to, because I do not have the answers to those questions. I didn't receive any answers on those questions as well. So perhaps the CEO, the acting CEO can say he can listen to questions, and if he can't answer them, then he will just direct back with the answers to Councillor Mara. Perhaps that is the basis. Mr. Acting, can you perhaps just give guidance to Councillor Mara regarding that?
Yes, His Worship, I can listen to the questions, and where I can answer, I will answer. However, where I cannot answer, I will revert to the CEO and make sure that we get back with answers at the next OCM.
Okay, thank you. The questions from during March. The questions during March, those I will not repeat at this point, except for one, which that community member is eagerly waiting for feedback from this council. The remaining of the March questions I will email to you so that you can somehow put it in minutes. I don't know which minutes, but somehow. So the March question was about the late Gesina. And I think there was a meeting after there was a question from the, you know, that erf close to the riverbed at RPS. So she would like to know, our finance manager indicated that there is an amount to be paid. What is that for? Since this erf does not even have a proper entrance, etc. But that is part of the March question, so I will rather send it again to the Secretariat, and then I will concentrate on last month's questions, of which the first one was the double allocation ERF 296, Block G, Extension 2, which was allocated to Mr. Swartz on the 19th of November 2010, as per advertisement. But in 2011, Mr. Cornelius van Wyk was on the same ERF. And then RTC sold this ERF in 2012 to Leonard van Wyk, the third owner, one ERF. As of 2024 to 2025, up to date, this is the ERF where the contractor had a site who assisted the RTC with sewage lines in Block G, who is now the owner. That is the question. Who is actually now the owner? Is it still Mr. Leonard, or is it the contractor, Stabu? What is council's stand towards Mr. Swartz of 2010 and Mr. Cornelius van Wyk of 2011? How does double allocation occur within the RTC's database? How and why? That's my question. That's not from the community. The double allocation is, the first part is from the community, 2 members, and the last part, how does that occur, is my question towards the administration. My question number 2, can you guys recall that I have mentioned these things? Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, so that's my first question, and I insist on having a kind of an answer so that I can inform the community about the outcome.
Yes, you're welcome, and then you will give maybe Finance Minister,
Now,
Minister Charles.
Mr. Marx, Mr. Karamke, this particular ERF, was allocated to 2 persons. Now there comes a 3rd person, Mrs. Tabu. How is it possible? Mrs. Tabu is the 4th. And we cannot, we said or every time property said they will sort out this double allocation since I set foot in this council. Up to now, nothing happened. That double allocation was never sorted out. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Joey. If we can go back, Councillor, before I give Councillor Jackie, if we can retract back when we entered the office, double allocations was quite a mess. And due to council presenting and offering training and bringing systems and upgrading of computers, it became lesser and lesser of a problem. So just remember back when we started, how many problems did we get of double allocations? And due to the current situation, then there is improvement, but it does not say there is not yet. And the fact that we had double allocations in the past, Councillor Mara, if you can remember, even we addressed it in the beginning when we entered the council. The time of when things were not, the data were not capturing properly, created double allocations because it was on books, in books and paper, and not on a computer to see who already applied first and who applied second on this Erwin. So that is our double allocations problem, and we rectify that problem by bringing in systems and computers and give training to property people for them to record data and capture this. And by this time, I didn't think that we were at this stage to sit with a double allocation problem again. But now I hear it's the fourth, and how did we? I thought that we were done with double allocations already, like
No, it's
2 years ago.
no.
So it's still not resolved yet. That is what is actually surprising, acting CEO, because at this stage, after training, we were supposed to be done with double allocations. We were supposed, because we allocated people on under Erwin, so double allocations must not be a problem now. So where is it coming from that we have still double allocations?
Ask Mr. Marx.
No, I have to go through this through the CEO, and then he will direct the question to Mr. Marx. But I believe even Mr. Marx, when he came, he's here for a few months. So I will that is the thing. But I will give him. He's currently now in he unfortunately, Mr. Marx inherit. Like we inherited, he's inheriting now. That's the other part of. Do you remember that words when we came in? We inherit the problems. Can you remember? We inherit the problems, and we had to face all these issues in double allocations and town lands and all these. We are still having it. So I'm giving over to Mr. Tron because it's very surprising.
Yes, His Worship, I agree with you. We're all aware of the double allocation problems in Rehoboth, but Mr. Mark says he has an answer for us, so we can listen to his response.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Mayor, it's quite true that the word that you have used, it's quite true that you inherited problems that was done previously before us. And one thing that I've learned of, that I've come across, is that I'm not yet to blame the previous guys who were here. I'm right now in that seat, so I have to take the whipping for it, actually, to say. The mayor just mentioned that trainings were provided and computers were acquired. Why are we still getting double allocation issues? As I'm speaking, we don't experience or have any double allocations since I have set foot in this council. There are no double allocations. And get me very clear, when we allocate events now, we make sure that it's not allocated to a second person. What we are experiencing is what happened in the past, which is the double allocations, where you could find that one F was easily allocated to 3, 4, 5 different people. And we are right now currently working on it. We have done our investigations, we have done ground verifications, we have our reports ready. It's just a few issues that we want to sort out with administration before we can give the report for the double allocations. The specific F that Councillor Mara is referring to, we are aware of it, that it was given previously during the allocations that were done, was given to Mr. Swartzwest, then it went to Van Wyk and Van Wyk and Van Wyk. But also take into cognition that when we did the verification, when we came to council firstly and said we want to find out who is sitting on which F that belongs to council in Block G, extension 1, 2, and 3, we obtained a council resolution to do that. After that, we wrote back to council with the report that the following events are allocated or are doubly allocated to the following people, or these ones are open. We need a council resolution in order to proceed. We got another council resolution. We went to the ministry and we consulted and asked, if you have an alt allocation or a ministerial approval, and you are giving this F number, the specific property or the F, to somebody else, do we need to request for new, or do we need to request for the cancellation of the previous ministerial approval or not? We were advised that you don't need to request for a cancellation of a previous ministerial approval. When you come with a new resolution with a new name, automatically the previous ministerial approval is null and void. And that's what we did. So everybody who comes in and claims that I have a ministerial approval for F number 10 in Block 1 or Block G, and I've never occupied it. I only have this letter in my hand, but I've never seen where that F is. I don't know who is sitting on it. That approval is null and void because there is a new council resolution now in regard with those open events. And that is the report that we are busy now with, that we will be submitting to council to finalize the double allocation for Block 1, for Block G, extension 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you, Mr. Marks. Councillor Jackie?
If as a portfolio councillor of properties, I'm also aware of that exercise where people were also asked if there was a certain period given whereby people were given to come in with those approvals to state, because you would find that the approval is in my name, but the person physically on the earth is Councillor Mara. And then we went on an exercise also with the properties department where they physically went with approval of the council, went and checked on who is actually on the ground. Some people did not occupy for 10, 20 years. They did not occupy after obtaining ministerial approval. Now that after our land conference, these decisions were made after the land conference, because we started to see that some of the residents are having this urban, although they might not need it. And then when they have this urban, they keep it, and later they speculate with it either, or they land bank with it. And the need of urban is very high, the demand is high. And we had to go and audit as a council who is on the earth, who has the approval, and then an announcement was given, I think through the local papers also, and through every shop and media outlets. It was given by this council to say come in 30 days, so that you can come in and verify you still have this thing, so that we can correct whether you are the owner of the earth, you occupy the earth, and if someone else is occupying the earth that you own, so we know that person is illegal and that we make alternatives for that person. So many of our residents did not come to the council to verify.
Yeah.
And then after that period, there was an exercise that the property department has to come back to us and say, these are the urban that we get, because we have applications that are due in the property department, from new applications that are due in the property department, where we have to now see, this is the amount of urbans after that audit process. This is the amount of urban we have. Now these applications can be accommodated there or where else. We did an exercise of where open urban all over Rehhof, where audited, and then we also verified with the deeds office whether we own the property as council or private owners own. So that is the essence of the matter. We gave a period. People were supposed to come back to the council to verify if the property, the approval of the ministry, and during that time, if they did not come, they forfeited the chance. So I don't know whether this ERF that Councillor Mara is asking is in one of those projects or programs that we launched from the council side.
Thank you, Councillor Jackie. Can we proceed, Mr. Marks?
I can see that Councillor Mara is not quite happy with my answer. In terms of F296, 296, Councillor?
Yeah.
The one for Stabu.
297.
296, extension 1 block G. Or what, with the situation that extension 2, what I know of is that the last, it's not an allocation for Stabu. Stabu used the F because it was open. They set up a structure for as an off-site office when they were doing the sewer line. They had a water connection as well as electricity on their name. But when the project came to an end, under correction, acting CEO Master FM, I think the account was closed, the water account as well as the electricity account, and Master Stabu, or the company actually, was billed for the amount of money. And as I can confirm, at the moment, there is only a check standing there. Nobody is living in that property. Under correction, my councillor. What I know of, nobody is living on that property. I'm here to be corrected.
Thank you, Mr. Marks. Councillor Mara?
Thank you, Your Worship. Finance, Acting CEO, is there any outstanding on the new name that was put on the ERF for the duration of the operation? And then, Mr. Marks, I think there's still a little structure there and a very big sign indicating to who it belongs. That's also not my concern. My concern is, where does Mr. Swartz, Mr. Cornelius van Wyk, and Mr. Leonard van Wyk fit in on that ERF?
Councillor Jackie, then I'll give quickly over to Mr. Tron and Mr. Marks.
I think for the sake of progress on this issue, can we get this information to the properties department, and properties department must in due course, in the space of 7 days, I'm not talking as the portfolio councillor, in the space of 7 days, please verify with the deeds office who is the rightful owner, who is this ERF registered to, and then we come give the feedback, and if need be, we call in the persons of interest in that matter, and also Councillor Mara that gave the concern through for the community members, so that we can address this issue for once and all. And all those people, once verifying, all those people come to your office, and we solve the case. For that is just a suggestion for progress in 7 days. And next week Monday, we will be able to the week thereafter Monday we can accommodate Councillor Mara to hear the outcome of that particular issue.
Thank you, Councillor Jackie. It's well said, noted by Mr. Marks and Mr. Tron.
Yeah, Councillor, I can't log into our system now, but like we can confirm everything and give feedback next week Monday.
Councillor Mara, thank you. Can we then move over to point 10? Is there another point? I believe not. 2 questions.
Done with the first question. Question 2, the taxi rank. There's lots of frustration on the long distance operators, the 7-seaters and the buses. So our town planner, perhaps, if he could allocate the area to this long outstanding issue, and so that we can accommodate our long distance drivers and the 7-seaters close to Cap Agri, based on the meeting that you had with Mr. Van Wyk the other day. So is there not a solution within that meeting that we can address an issue or allocate to these people because they are in an issue, in a problem?
I believe, Councillor Mara, we just have to have a sit down. At this stage, we are almost now the transport portfolio councillors. I believe we just have to have a sit down and discuss with Mr. Van Wyk which area he must be allocated together with the finance and the technical department and properties to see what we can do for exchange for that piece of land that we inquired about. So if we can get a date, perhaps that Monday, next week Monday, if we can have a date with them and sit, and then we also have the same discussion, then we can probably, because this is long overdue. In fact, there's already a standing resolution by us. So it's just negotiating and reallocating, and then the process to be done, and then we can continue on that basis. I just want also just to mention that that provision must also just be in the budget, because last time it was not budgeted for. So we must just budget, Councillor Mara's portfolio councillor, just make sure it's been budgeted for this time, this year, in this new financial year budget, please. Can we move to the next one then, Councillor Mara?
The third question was more about can we maybe as councillors do something on the Rukoro beneficiaries? You know, the way we started in the beginning of our assignment, since there's now a school that side, why can we not deliver to these people the same way like we did when we started in the council, because we were left and then people will be without Erwin. So what is the issue that we cannot allocate? Is there a problem? Is there, but because people are waiting for so many years.
Councillor Mara, will you just do me a favor? Just direct that question to the portfolio councillor just next to you, because he was busy with that project.
He can answer when you allow him to answer.
His Worship, again, I think I'm put on the spot today, but it's kind of in my portfolio, both GIZ and the property, that allocation of Block H. I think in Block H, what happened was we know the story. We're supposed to continue the allocations of Block H. Most of our residents also, I think Mr. Marx will also agree, most of our residents are not really very eager to go to Block H and go and settle there, simply because the service, bulk services are still not installed, and the council is seeking ways to service that land through funding. I don't know where. GIZ, I had a meeting with the GIZ, because GIZ was allocated the land that was earmarked for these projects. And I had a meeting with GIZ, in extension 2 and 3 is the areas in Block H under discussion. So the GIZ people, we talked and we said, okay, they need to decongest some of the areas, I think in extension 8 or so, to extension 2 or 3. And then I said in that meeting that GIZ's mandate with or agreement with our council is that they are supposed to work of already informal settlements that are there and formalize them until the point where each and every one gets a title deed, and the location or informal settlement is planned accordingly. But now they don't have anything to do with an open area, because that open area is the council's. But there on extension 2 and 3, where Councillor Mara is talking about those outstanding allocations, there is already some encroachment from other people, And then now we are saying, okay, GI said manage that encroachment for us. But the area that we can accommodate, the list that we are accommodating from, we are going to continue and accommodate, because in the previous meeting it was minuted and resolved as such. So we will look into it. I will have a meeting next week again with properties together with town planning, together with the technical manager, and GI said, and so that we can solve out the mortalities. Now, mortalities is just for us to see these are the areas where we can allocate, and in block, maybe we cannot accommodate all of them, but the alternative would be to do this and this and that. So that meeting is going to take place soon, and then we are going to continue with the allocations as was requested and as we were left by the previous council.
Thank you, Councillor Jackie. Mr. Max, I just have a concern, and I believe if members of Mewa, Councillor Mara, we have the same concern. When we started, we allocated Erwin, and this Erwin were having water and sewage. The only facility they didn't have is electricity. But yet, up to today, people did not go and sit, because we even made the streets and cleaned the area, but not yet, people did not yet go and reside there. We just have to be very clear that we do have investment people who applied to open shops and applied for business areas there, that side, that we also approved. But if a person, Councillor Jackie and Mr. Marx, if a person is not eager, then continue on the list and then that person will be moved downwards on the list perhaps, and then somebody that is really in a need will come and sit on that earth. Because now we are trying to allocate other people at other areas, but the people that is currently, that was first, did not want to take that piece of land. Then we must ask who is willing to go there and wait until we and start doing the payments, because we also need the payments in order to provide further services. So we can't just have an expense, but we don't get any income from people that does not want to reside there, but they don't even do payments while they are not residing there. So we will just have to be careful for that one. So let us just move in the same direction. I agree with Councillor Jackie, set up the meeting, but also give these people again consent letters. If they do not want to sit, after 6 months or a period of time, they will be moved downwards on the list, and people that are eager to move and is willing to move to that area will get in the privilege. So that you can just get people allocated and people start getting service and pay for their land, so that we can bring other services also. Because look what happened, if there were people residing there, then we could have also applied at the regional council for electricity part. Because now that there's nobody there, now we can't even apply for electricity, while we could have applied also to get electricity to the area. Mr. Max?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Honorable Mayor, it's quite true what the councillors are mentioning. Just to clear the air, I will start off with the Rukoro beneficiaries. The Rukoro beneficiaries allocation process have been ongoing. There are people that are sitting in extension 1 and 2, Block H, that we have been allocated to their areas, but they have not taken it up, as the Honorable Mayor just said now. People are reluctant to go there due to the fact that there are no services yet. And secondly, extension 3 and 5, or 2 and 5 in Bahnhof, that is close to 500 events that have been allocated to the Rukoro beneficiaries. And the request for them was that they should contribute a fee of 6,600 to be used for services. People don't want to go to Bahnhof, because one of the conditions that was taken in the council resolution, or that is depicted there, says that if you go to Bahnhof, you cannot put up a shack structure. So at the end of the day, we will remain with 2 extensions that are open there, set out for the Rukoro beneficiaries, but because people don't have the money to build brick houses, they won't go there. We are not quiet with it. We are busy with the Rukoro report. And those is part of the people that don't even give us problems. The other thing, as I said, the allocations were done. People are sitting with their letters. And I'm not disputing what the mayor is saying, that I should now remove Max and then bring in Jacobus in. At the end of the day, you're going back into double allocation issues because Max will come with his letter. Jacobus also has the same letter, same F. We are back into square one instead of moving forward. So what I will request from council is that let's promote the occupation of this land that was given. The Ministry of Mines and Energy is in the process of electrifying informal areas, which can easily happen around November this year. But the ministry is very clear that we cannot do, if we bring the box there, we want to put it into a structure. If there is no structure, we cannot put the box on the ground. So we should actually encourage our people to occupy their land, even if they're not paying yet. These people are required to pay 150 per month over 12 months, 5 years or even 2 years. Just such simple payment are not being done. Is it the technocrats who should now convey this message to the residents? Or is it our politicians that should help us also out that you cried for the land, we have given you the land, please take up the land. The moment you go see, the council will, out of its best, try to see where can I get a $10 so that I can give service to these guys that are sitting there without water. Even standpipes. In extension 1, it has sewer, it has water. Every house is connected to a water point. People don't want to go there. That's my problem.
Thank you, Mr. Max. Councillor Mara, Councillor Jackie, then we have to wrap up because it's almost 5 o'clock.
Thank you. Mr. Max, do you know that in extension 1, there's no sewage? God forbid.
A small part of extension 1. There's a small part. There's no. I think it's a few 3 or 4 houses, 3 houses.
3 houses.
Only 3 houses. But we applied. So perhaps, Mr. Max, just go back to Councillor Mara, get the 3 houses, and then just get the area for connections for the 3-4 houses to be done.
Honorable Mayor, the part that Councillor Mara is referring to, is it that first line where people already are?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That we can do. But the rest of the other, the extensions, the bulk services are there.
Yeah, I know that.
It's only a matter of you come in and you apply, you will be shown where's your connection point. You will be connected to water and sewer.
Okay. Councillor Jackie? Councillor Mara, you're fine? Okay.
Honorable Mayor, we have as technocrats in the office of under Mr. Karonge has really tried their best in order to provide these services, and I know since I'm on their toes every day, or maybe every second day, so they have been trying. What I want from this council is we approval to go and do the auditing, because we have notified the allocated people already many a times through writing and through media and through meetings to occupy the land, and we have also on record say that if you don't occupy, we are seeing it as you don't need the land. So what I would want to seek from this council today is approval, so that we can physically go as the Office of Property to do an audit again in Block H extension, especially those that we allocated 1 and 2. If the council give approval, we will go out and we will go see who occupied this land together with the town planning, because those were the ones that worked together to allocate the land. So we exactly know which earth is whose and who is not, who was allocated when. You remember, His Worship, some of these earth were allocated as far back as 2020. 2021, and people did not occupy. So we will do an auditing with the approval of this council, and then we will give them a 30-day notice, because we have based on the notices that we have given them, and then again they will forfeit the right, and then we will move on with the list if the council gives that approval, because we have informed them already so many times for the office to go out based on, that is now the approval is seek for, sometimes they will go out in weekends, sometimes they will have to do overtime. So that we can do the auditing and then determine by 31st of July if we will have names that will publish again and say you did not occupy by 31st of July. If you don't occupy, we are going to take the earth away, because the regional council through Hardap Regional Council also ask for a list of people that areas in Rehbof that is not electrified, and we cannot give them 2 free houses as a whole suburb. We gave them the list of Block H, but there's so many lines in between. There are 3 houses here, and there's a whole bunch of open land, and there's a house that side. How does the line go, and is it beneficial? So therefore, please, I propose for approval of this land audit in Block H, and then the of the Secretariat, so that we audit the land and then we notify the owners that was allocated that did not occupy, and give them a chance until 31st of July, and by 1st August we will take back the land if that is approved by the council.
Thank you, Councillor Jackie. What I think is, if you can just, for the approval part, because I don't think we will deny you the approval. I just think we just have to get a submission from as a councillor. Then we just sign it by a round robin to say just, or we want the approval now on the current approvals.
Yes, it's a question that comes for 2-3 months, and this is where we take decisions, because this question is coming from, and the solution is emanating from the question that came. So therefore, it can be a solution.
So Councillor Jackie proposed, who's a that Councillor Mara. Mr. Max, burgers who can for stress vlakte currently, just make sure they also benefit from this Ministry of Mines and Energy electricity project as well, so that we can get all the informal areas where people are residing under that electricity thing. But it's a little bit, it's cold in here, so the sun is actually giving him some heat. But yes, please, Mr. Max, so that we can get all these informal areas also to be registered, and so that we can benefit in Rehbof from this. Yes. The auditing is just Block H. The applying for electricity is for all the informal areas where people are residing. Because Mr. Marx mentioned there's something regarding mines, so that we can apply, so that we can also, And then we move on, councillors, to point 10.
Close by. The argument here is also that it's only dead wood which he's harvesting, and therefore no harm to the environment. Thank you.
Sorry, councillor, I see here that there's a sound problem. Is the sound okay? Oh, at the last point. Okay, Councillor Mara, the Mr. Johnny's case we cannot discuss now because there's currently investigation going on. Can we just perhaps wait until the investigation is done? There's currently investigation going on. So can we skip that one, because I don't want to elaborate on something There's investigation currently going on, yeah. Ministry of Forestry also. They're having an investigation. That's current pending, so can we just reframe then, not reframe, but just park it for now and then come back to it after we get anything. I just want to follow up with our legal officer so that we can just find out and then we can communicate, or you can just communicate to her just to get the background and see if there's any verdict regarding that, and then we can have the discussion again at the next OCM, please. Okay, Councillor Jackie, can I move on?
No, no, His Worship, I think there are two questions in one question. The one is the legality and the hood and the whatever. That is environment side. So that is the one that is that should be investigated by the Ministry of Environment. But there is a case of conflict, contested municipal bills. So that is a council issue. So therefore, I would like to suggest that a date be set for with the finance manager, so that the particular question that Councillor Mara asked, because we were supposed to have this meeting, the person requested the council on the account to have a meeting. So those councillors that can avail them as soon as possible, please get that person to the table. It's a resident of our town, so that you can come together and talk the part where we have jurisdiction as a council, and the other part where the Ministry of Environment have jurisdiction. Let the Ministry of Environment continue to have the investigations and whatsoever. But for the part I would like to suggest that the council sits together and Mr. who? Mr. Johnny present his case, and Mr. Tron present the case of the council, and we as that is now on the the account, and then we see how we can best solve that issue, or at least get to an amicable solution. If not, but get him in the audience, please.
Okay.
Councillor Mara will follow up on the dates and whatever.
Yes.
But the other part will be discussed with Ministry of Environment.
Yes, Councillor Mara, and I will just, after the meeting, OCM, I will just also inform about something. We will talk regarding the second side of your question. I will give you information for Councillor just to go also and just to get the relevant information. Then you will also have an answer there. Can we move on then to point 11? Yes, just your mic, Councillor Mara,
Honourable
because sound.
Councillors, I just have one concern before we really go to the substance of our agenda. Burgershoek, Volstruisvlak, I don't need feedback on where we are, because I suppose we are very close now. Okay. There is these incidents that are happening at the moment, and I think partly we are responsible for our community that are staying there. Based on the fact that there is shebeens, whereby there is, I don't know, some happenings. We are all 7 are updated on what happened this weekend in the Burgershoek Volstruisvlak group. So all 7 councillors are aware of what happened. So is there any means that those people can feel a little bit more protected from the side of this council and the police? Thank you.
Councillor Mara, personally, I spoke to Senior Inspector Brandt 2 weeks ago. They are really doing their best. They're even going so far by walking, because vehicles is really an issue in Rehoboth. So they're even walking, and they are walking at night and specific times in Burgershoek, Volstruisvlakte, and other areas as well, whereby they are really doing their best with the resources that they are having. We will engage with a meeting where we will sit and have better discussions and to see how we can address the issue from the mayor's office, how we can also give our contribution to assist for people to be more visible and more bringing awareness in that areas. We are also still waiting from our side, we're also waiting for certain funds to come through, for certain projects to start with the street lights, the motion that is there already. So we did put mechanisms in place. The only thing is we are also bound with funding that must come in order for us to start certain projects. But in the meantime, we are working together in order to see. The other invite is also for us at we will have a next meeting whereby all the relevant stakeholders will be present, and there we will even engage that me myself I will also can assist at night, and councillors are more than willing, if they're willing to also to come and walk and let us do this and show that we really care about these areas and the safety of the people there. Regarding illegal shebeens, that one, I do not know I do not understand really the policy or the thing there, because when the police are going that side, when the police are going there, there's no, perhaps they are hiding stuff. I do not know what is actually being occurring there. But what we want to do is we want to get our own statistics when we're starting this operation. So we will venture into those type of things, and then we will come and sit, and we will definitely then look into all these illegal places and areas so that we can bring in a campaign, an awareness campaign by doing this in those areas. Especially alcohol, drugs is also a lot in that areas. So we have to walk and we have to see by ourselves and then understand better what is going on so that we can actually make better decisions and discuss. Then we will have a monthly discussion regarding these problems that we are seeing in these areas. Councillor Jackie?
His Worship, I'll quickly talk, support that statement that you have just made. But I think what the people need to see is council visibility. We need to engage into a meeting, my proposal, engage into a meeting with our committee. The committee there is doing a marvelous job in terms of mobilizing the people and getting organized. So, but the people, the residents themselves, they don't see the committee together with the council. And sometimes they pit the council against the committee. So I would suggest for a meeting maybe on a Sunday, if not this Sunday, then the one that is coming, so that we can just go and engage the community and talk about these shebeens also. That is my point. But before we continue with the next point, I have a question with the finance manager.
Sorry,
that I-
Councillor Jackie, just to answer you, that's why the stakeholders meeting will take place with Senior Brand Inspector and all the relevant parties, including the committee, including the councillors, and including everyone will have a
will
sit,
be there.
will be there. That's
Okay.
where the stakeholder meeting will
And
take
then
place.
it's fine.
So
But
the
for
invites
my-
will still go out.
For my second part, the finance manager, I have a question for you in your capacity, not as the acting CEO. The financial year is starting on the 1st of July. I would really like you to enlighten the council in terms of, we are still at questions, and I'm stealing time. Honorable Mayor. Honorable, oh, you will become honorable now. Mr. Finance, I would like you to please provide the council in terms of this, in the course of the coming week, the budget time activity plan, because we have many stakeholders that we need to engage before the budget finally goes into action. So maybe if you can provide us with when are we going to the communities, because we need the input. When are you coming to the for the council with the presentation of the budget, in that one, not in this meeting but on our groups, so that we can and if we have to go inform the public, we will go through the PR office. So please provide us in this week with the budget activity plan, how it will go, so that we know and we have also input, because we have been talking about a lot of positive things for the town, but we don't know whether you will allow us with your mega finances to be able to provide that what we are saying. So that is just my ask.
Okay, yes, Honorable Councillor. The budget has been finalized, the first draft. So that draft will be presented to the council within the next 7 days. It will be presented to the council, and at that meeting, the council will then fix a date for presentation to the community, and thereafter it will be presented to Ardab Regional Council. With the final amendments after that meeting, it will be submitted before the end of June to the ministry.
Thank you, Mr. Tron. Can we move on then to point number 10? I believe Mr. Max will leave soon, Councillor Jackie, because of 5 o'clock and he has to travel back. They are traveling by transport, commuting. Number 10, report of management committee referred to section 26, subsection 1, paragraph E of the Act, none. Number 11, recommendation of management committee, office of the mayor, office of the chief executive officer, requests for support and strategic cooperation, Swakopmund Municipality and Luderitz Town Council. Councillor Joey.
Thank you, Your Worship. Both these requests are the same. So, yeah, I will only read the management recommendation. Do you don't need, you know most what is a memorandum of understanding. Yeah.
We just a proposal.
Yeah, management committee recommended that the council approve the submission for further action, that the council approve proposed areas for cooperation agreement in the memorandum of understanding to be entered into with the two councils, that is now Swakopmund Municipality and Luderitz Town Council, including other local authorities and international. That signing of the agreements be done before the end of July 2025.
Councillor Joey, are you done?
Okay?
Okay. Councillor Jackie?
His Worship, I do, this is most now part of our portfolio once again. But what I want is that we have one meeting where we sign all this. We cannot go to Luderitz and again to Swakop. So if we have this meeting of signing the memorandum of understanding, it should be either in Luderitz or Swakop or even here. So if you can sign both of them on at one place. It's just my suggestion, but if the council feel we need to, because sometimes you are talking to Luderitz about specific things that is only for the two of you, the towns, and the other side you are talking to Swakop about something else. So if in that aspect, I'll also understand, but I do really ask the council to think about this, and we can benefit so much more from Swakopmund, both Swakopmund, we just benefited from the council also, junior council. Luderitz, we can benefit from the project that you are also now going to, the green hydrogen project. So we have really opportunities where we can incorporate and win for our town.
Councillor Jackie, I like your second opinion, because it is just more professional to sit on the one-on-one basis. Because Swakopmund with the other amended fire things, the fire brigade things, let's handle them differently, and then also handle Luderitz differently. Because putting them together at one meeting, it will also, then how will we have discussions, open discussions with the mayor and the chairperson and the council sitting there? I prefer then for us to have a one-on-one discussion as council. I believe I communicated to you the dates, so we just have to communicate with the dates. Just get back to us with the dates, Councillor Jackie, on this, yes, and then we will communicate further on the next ones, the Luderitz one. Can I have a proposal and a secondment on this? Councillor Jackie proposed, and Councillor Joey seconded. Can we move on then to 11.3, Department of Finance? None. 11.4, Department of Cooperation Affairs and Resources Development. Sorry, on Department of Finance, Finance will come back to us. 11.2.2 is the same. It's just, it's approved by, proposed by Councillor Jackie and seconded by Councillor. Oh, sorry, I see. 11.2.2, sorry.
Yes, yeah, all right.
Sorry, I skipped that one. Sorry, Councillor Joey.
2.2, submission for approval of the street vendor registration form. Management committee recommended that the council approve the use of the form for all street vendors registrations, subject to inputs and any additional amendments provided by other divisions. That the LED office and health inspectorate help implement and monitor the process. That the rules in the form be followed by all vendors. Refer to council. I think we had it also the last time.
Yeah. Can I have a proposal proposed by Councillor Lalani and seconded by Councillor DM? Then we move over to at 11.3. Department of Finance, I would just like to say that he must communicate back to us with the dates of the budget that Councillor Jackie requested. 11.4, Department of Corporation Affairs and Human Resource Development. 11.5, Department of Infrastructure, Town Planning and Technical Services. 11.5.1, the resubmission for correction request effect donation transfer, block block D, Rehoboth. The names of Dean Leslie Detoit, Reginald Desmond Detoit, late Andrew Edward Detoit, and late Wilhelmine Johanna Detoit. 11.5.1, I give over to the MC to read us the recommendation.
All right. Management Committee recommended that Council approves the donation transfer of F8 Block D, Rehoboth, measuring 1,878 square meter to Mr. Dean Leslie Detoit, Mr. Reginald Desmond Detoit, the late Mr. Andrew Edward Detoit, and the late Miss Wilhelmina Johanna Detoit. Number 2, the Detoit family donate ERF 9, Block D, measuring 1,838 square meter to the late Karel Beekers family, and donation transfer be done simultaneously. All arrears that may be reflected on their accounts be paid in full before any transfers can be done. The donation transfers be subject to the advertisement for objection. The donation transfers be subject to the attaining of ministerial approval. The standard conditions of donation shall remain in force, and all costs incidental to the donations process be borne by the beneficiaries. Refer to Council. Question? Can I get the proposal?
Proposal by DM Claassen and seconded Councillor Wiras. 11.5.2, rezoning of earth, block F696, extension 2 from single residential with a density of 1 to 500 to a general residential with a density of 1 to 100, and consent to proceed with development while rezoning is in progress.
5.2 and 11.5.3, the same.
That's the same, MC, so we can handle it as one topic. You want? Second by
Thank you, Councillor Mara. 11.5.4, DM.
11.5.4, strategic intervention plan for townlands. MC.
Point 4, strategic intervention plan for townlands eviction. The purpose of this submission is to seek administrative management consideration and recommendation. No, it's not. It's townlands. It's for council. Therefore, I will read the recommendations. Management Committee recommended that For occupants with accounts, the townlands and legal divisions will take the following steps. Inform the occupants to sign the contract within 30 calendar days. Occupants should make a payment arrangement to settle the arrears on the account. They must pay a certain amount on the outstanding amount. Should the occupant fail to sign the contract within the stipulated period, that is now in 30 calendar days, the occupant will be issued with a letter of eviction and account statement. The occupant should vacate the townlands within 90 calendar days. The account will be handed to debt collectors. After the 19 calendar days, the matter will be submitted to the legal officer to file for the eviction orders and attachment of properties. For occupants without accounts, the townlands and legal divisions will take the following steps. Inform the occupants to sign the contract within 30 calendar days before the eviction letter is issued. The occupant will be issued with a letter of eviction, and the occupants should vacate the townlands within 90 calendar days. After 90 calendar days, the matter will be submitted to the legal officer to file for eviction orders and attachment of properties. Refer to council.
Thank you, Councillor Joey. Councillor Mara?
Thank you, Your Worship. I just need clarity on this one part. For occupants without accounts, in my understanding, it's like, when is it that occupants does not have any accounts? Those ones will also be informed to sign the contract within 30 calendar days, meaning our council will provide them with contracts. Does it mean that if one of them are maybe like, if I'm subleasing townlands to someone, that someone who is not having an account will also get now what is it saying? Which category is this?
Councillor Mara, previously, if you can remember, that there was also people that was allocated by the previous council to that areas. But they were allocated, they were approved, but there was some people don't have accounts at all. They do not have an account to come and do certain payments, and those people are the ones that we said we are providing contracts with. But subleasing at this stage, the stand is very clear that we don't allow subleasing. So therefore, we can't give to a person that is subleasing a contract, because that is one of the matters I also want to discuss. That's why I said I want to discuss with you afterwards. There are certain issues that transpired with subleasing issues that also came about in the townland areas. So perhaps we must sit with townlands officer and then discuss the relevant, how will we deal with people on the subleasing area. So your question is really valid, but how will we deal with when we come there? Because it is a concern. This person is having the contract but not paying. The subleaser doesn't have a contract. How can we provide to? Then we're giving another contract to the subleaser. Then it means that person is not subleasing anymore because now the person is having a contract. So then it's two people. Then what about the people on the waiting list? Because we are saying there's not enough, but yet we are creating, we are giving. So that is the scenario that we have to just sit and discuss thoroughly with townlands and with all councillors present, so that we can get that one behind. Because on that one I'm with you.
You know, Your Worship, I'm just very much worried. What I sense when there's decisions that we as a council are making, let's say there's a specific decision or a resolution, then from the administrative side, they will always say, but this is a decision that you have made. And that's one part I don't want to hear anymore. Meaning, I'm asking this question so that we could play fair and in a right way. I was very much against the fact that we should get a consultant within Townlands, but I think it is the only option. That's the only option so that we can get kind of an audit approach back from Townlands, because at this point we are just rushing into resolutions, and then our own resolutions, the administration will then hit us. But this is a decision that you have made. So why can't we just little bit park this one and rather look into a matter of getting a consultant that can, because I'm actually very much surprised.
Sorry, Councillor Mara. Why do we need to park it? Can we just say amendment on the recommendation from MC? Recommend that we first look into the option of the consultant
Before going into this.
before going into anything. Let's
Yeah.
first recommend on this current submission. Just recommend that the previous recommendation just to be parked, and then that we as council approve in order to see to it that we get a consultant.
Yeah.
Make it because we are currently on the submission, so we can do amendments. So just propose perhaps for consultant, and then we get a secondment on the consultant part, and then we look into it.
Dorothy is confused.
Yeah. Are you confused, Dorothy? So, okay. Yeah. So the recommendation from the MC, on that recommendation, we do consider now to have a consultant first to look into the data that is there, because I'm so surprised in the facts here. You know the data. We have this and we have that and we have this amount of what. So those data should be checked through by a consultant, and based on the report from the consultant, we can then structure a recommendation in order to have a resolution. Is that clear? There is a resolution, there is a recommendation now, but amendment is on the recommendation is that we should look into a consultant first.
See if this data is correct.
Yeah. She's just waiting for the recommend. I'm just waiting for Councillor Mara to finish with her proposal so
Yeah.
I can get a secondment on it.
I'm
Councillor Mara?
actually done.
Okay.
I hope it's clear.
Dorothy, do you have
No, not really the correct data, because the data seems to me very much okay. To do an audit,
To
is
do a-
everything okay?
Is it an audit or verification?
To do a consultant to do verification on these facts,
Yeah.
on Townlands?
on these.
On the Townland strategic plan. In strategic
Intervention.
intervention plan. Okay, there's a proposal. Can I get a secondment? Councillor Lani seconded. Can we move on then to 11.5.5? Request to fast track and provide Elensi with a rental equipment agreement, account refencing agreement, and lease agreement on rental of land. I give over to MC Chair.
Management Committee recommended that Council approves and resolve to sign all required agreements to enable Alensi to begin preparation and mobilization of resources for implementation of this project. Rental equipment agreements, account refencing agreements, lease agreements on rental of land. This agreement is subject to obtaining ministerial approval from Minister of Urban and Rural Development. That the pending ECB advice is noted still while the project is ongoing. That Alice Shilengutwa Incorporated be considered as possible legal advisor on pending technical matters, refer to council. Were
Yes, thank you, Councillor MC. Councillors, I don't know if you were part part of the presentation that the Lency had with council and the administration regarding the way forward. They actually now just have want council to give the approval for them then to start, and then the first process to start is with the legal terms. Now they got approval from ECB. They were in talks of ECB, and we just have also just to, from council side, we just have to get our meeting with ECB, sit down with ECB and discuss this way and get directions from ECB, and then Alensi then we will have the agreement with Alensi if council approve, and then the process of our solar plant will start then, because there were certain discrepancies which the minister asked and our technocrats sorted it out, so we are on that basis. That is now our final basis. So, Councillor Mara?
I just need to check with the MC Chair, the legal advisor that needs to work on the pending technical matters. Where's the legal advisor coming from? Why is there a name there?
It's the only person that is on. Oh,
no, that is the only person that is suitable. Not all that they recommend that we take. Yes.
not really they. It's a requirement from both parties to have on this type of issues, this high magnitude of voltage, a legal person, and there's only a very few in they are the ones normally doing Namibia's legal solar and electricity legal things. So this company is just recommended because it's already doing other local authorities legal
That's
matters
person,
of this company,
with regards to power,
Yeah.
solar power.
legal opinions. They are not a lot in Namibia. So that's the basis where we currently, where we are standing with them now. So they did do what we requested. Everything is it's in order. It's just now that process, the final stretch of us. Remember, councillors, if you can remember, Senoret even said they just need approval from the ministry on on Alensi in order also to start with us in an agreement. If you can remember the discussions that we have with Senoret. So this, we actually really have to start in order to bring our electricity issue also to a board, because this is the only means where we can really start an implementation of the solar in order for us to have this agreement so that we can work upon the factor of Rehoboth electricity issues to be assisted. So there's still the pending one of Senoret, but they can't start without having the solar plant. That is also still in the air. There is still the co-op that is still in the air. There is still the Ministry of Mines that is saying that the direction of the southern Hartap and Karas, it is still there. So everywhere we look, it's still there that the solar, we must make a final decision on the solar one. So I do not know if we have to, because now they're at the last stretch. If we take another company again, then we must do all the processes all over again. Councillor Joe, yes, the people of Lotus was here this morning, but you have to understand they do not. It's not necessarily to say we are venturing into them. That is something totally different. They just want the area for solar. They can even distribute it to some other towns, but on us, ours is specifically. That resolution was very specific what we wanted in that area, in that thing. Councillor Jackie.
Question is directed to the MCJ. Are you referring to the Senoret? Is it Senoret that we went to? Did we go to Senoret of the discussions in? Is it Senoret?
That was the
Ronkered. Oh, I thought the trip that Councillor Joey called a jolly ride.
But councillors, if you can remember, it's not the issue even at even at Irongo Red and even at Seno Red. The solar will just assist us even to then we can venture into any company because now we do have the solar part requested from us. So that is where the stands are currently now. So and this is the fact. And Mr. Troni said it here, can also contest to it. This is the fact where we are currently. We all know what is the stance of ECB and what ECB told us on our network maintenance part. And if we do not do something now, where we will end up as the town. That is where we are. And people are paying a lot of money for reconnection because of that state, and we have to improve that state. And by doing that, we have to start with the solar, and then we have to venture into a company that will assist us. So that is where that is where we are standing currently right now. Councillor Jackie?
His Worship, we have already give approval to Alensimos. We just must the technicalities and the logistics that we are discussing now. So if we don't approve these ones, then the other part falls away. I propose.
Councillor Jackie propose. Councillor Joey? Seconds. Thank you, councillors. So then, that's a very good direction that we are moving into for our next journey. Councillors, can I ask that while we're on the same topic of electricity, can I perhaps get a date and a time? Perhaps after our last MC meeting, then to go to ECB. Can I arrange a meeting for ECB? Can I give you the dates for it so that we all can attend again to ECB? Is it fine by all councillors?
Yeah, you can send us the date.
The ECB and also try to get the Minister of Mines and Energy also, so that we can go and visit. Is it fine by councillors?
Fine by me.
Okay. So let me just manage the date as well, so that we can just get that, and then to my PA Ricky, just take note of the fact that we have to contact ECB and the Ministry of Mines and Energy to sit down, and also name power, so that we can have our discussion there and then come back, and then we have the relevant information what to do and what direction we have to move into. Councillors, with this said, we are closing. We are at the closure of our ordinary council meeting. I believe our next ordinary council meeting will be on the 30th of June, and our presentations will be on the 23rd of June. With that said, thank you, councillors, for partaking in the OCM. I know that we sometimes have our differences here and we have our debates here, and afterwards we normally laugh, and that shows maturity. And the reason why I'm saying this is so that the community can know debates in here, that's how mature these councillors are. Debates in here does not mean we don't like each other outside. We are debating, we are arguing, but it's for a good cause, for the best of for the town to strive, and not for the town to shrink. With that said, also Mr. Tron, Ms. Don, Ms. Korange, administration, camera, Tafet, PA, and the gentleman normally assisting us, thank you very much. Good evening to the residents. I would just want to say good night, and thank you for tuning in and watching our live stream. We really appreciate it. It's for you that we are doing it. And then further questions, we saw some of them on live stream. We will address them. And so thank you very much for tuning in on our live stream, and God bless. Have a pleasant week. So I submit. Thank you.